Coming up tonight, Fiji asks for international flood relief aid. PM waives land rent. And Minister says agriculture damage very huge. Good evening, I'm Sandra Assam. The Fiji government has called for international assistance in their effort to help those affected by the recent floods in the northern and western divisions. Yesterday, the Permanent Secretary for Provincial Development and the head of DISMAC, Inia Seruratu, met with the various representatives from the diplomatic corps in the countries such as Australia, Papua New Guinea and even Malaysia.
Head of DISMAC, Inia Seruratu, late yesterday called a meeting with the international agencies and laid out to them the current situation on the ground in the West and the Northern divisions. Seruratu told those in attendance that Red Cross was assisting some 3,000 people in 74 evacuation centers after heavy rain destroyed their homes and their crop. He stressed that the immediate need was for food and clean drinking water. Meanwhile, the National Disaster Management Office has finalized a request of over $800,000, and this was put forward to the diplomatic corps. This includes a request for 21,000 purification tablets, 10,000 soap packets, funding for public health control, 30,000 sachets of rehydrating salt, back-to-school kits, media campaign on hygiene following the floods. So far, Australia, New Zealand, United States, along with the European Union, Japan, China and Russia have assisted in flood relief, and it's totaled to over $1 million that was targeted towards the Prime Minister's flood appeal.
Good news for those flood-affected people living on government land, as the Prime Minister has approved the waiving of land rental fees on government land leases in areas badly affected by the floods and declared disaster zones in the Western Division for a period of 1 year. His decision comes after his 2-day tour of the West assessing the damages caused by the floods. This would mean that government land tenants in the affected areas of the West will have their land rent free for the period January 2012 to January 2013. This is to allow affected tenants to concentrate on rehabilitation and rebuilding. As rehabilitation work has started in the Western Division following the recent floods, which affected the area, the Agriculture Ministry is now looking at securing farmers' livelihood. During his tour of affected areas, Agriculture Minister Choketani Dokana Singh says the worst-hit area is Ba, and now they are looking at ways to get the sector back up and running.
The recent flooding of the Northern and the Western divisions has affected many, with more impact to be felt by the economy, as this was the major farming areas. Minister for Agriculture Choketani Dokana Singh says their preliminary inspection has not captured the true picture. However, they are working on assisting as many farmers in the 4 major areas.
Of the total damages in Narangga, Narangga only had suffered about 10% of total production, mostly because of water. And that is the issue with most of our vegetable and farming communities here. The water stood around for about 3 days and damaged our crops, washed away all our cabbages. Pawpaw plantations were badly affected, in fact a write-off right at the moment.
At the moment, the seed handout initiative has been put on hold.
So our replanting period is going to be put back because we don't want to start distributing seeds and the seeds cannot be planted. We want the seeds to be distributed and planted right away after the land has been prepared. So our priority, therefore, is one, to ensure that there's food security in the homes. Secondly, is to try and save our export.
The general public is being asked to be on alert as strong wind warning remains in place for the whole group, with a high possibility of flash flooding in low-lying areas. According to the Nandi Weather Office, a tropical disturbance, which is expected to intensify, is lying 600 kilometers from Nandi, and this system has a lot of rain clouds and strong winds. The duty forecaster says while it is quite far from the group and is not expected to pose a direct threat, there will be a lot of rain and thunderstorms this long weekend. Coming up after the break, new Confucius Center at USP. Health Ministry becomes more proactive, and PM's office to visit Namosi.